What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zach, and we back with another video. Oh shoot! Today we're about to react to top 10 strangest unsolved mysteries ever. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like it, and help me out. Make sure you subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video.
Well, it stretches one's imagination. I can certainly tell you that I've never run across something like this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 strangest unsolved mysteries.
Should have been so routine.
For this list, we're looking at the most bizarre occurrences that remain unexplained to date. If there's a weird mystery you're mystified about us leaving out, let us know in the comments. Number 10. The Circleville Letters. In 1977, residents of Circleville, Ohio began receiving threatening and harassing anonymous...
Hey, your boy's from Ohio. That's crazy. I've been in Circleville. Pretty sure they have this pumpkin festival, and it's kind of lit. You got the world's biggest pumpkins in there. Kind of nice.
letters.
I think it's Circleville.
Or hundreds, but thousands of letters.
And I've won track meets over there. Took first place home.
They all had the same block lettering, and they would target politicians and leaders, but also just plain folks who had nothing to do with the running of Circleville at all.
The letters had very distinctive handwriting and contained accusations of embezzlement, affairs, and even murders. Ron Gillespie died under mysterious circumstances after receiving a phone call and announcing that he was going to confront the writer.
Was Ron Gillespie's death an accident? Was he really drunk that night? And why had one bullet been fired?
My boy, why was you gonna try to go by
His wife
yourself?
was nearly
You're not
killed by a
Batman, my
gun
dude.
in a booby trap attached to a sign. It turned out that Paul Freshour, Ron's brother-in-law, bought the gun, and his handwriting was deemed to match the letters.
You know,
Oh,
I can't blame
dang.
the jury because the jury didn't
Sometimes it be your own family.
hear all the evidence. But I was just, I just couldn't believe it. I was really in shock.
Yet during his time in prison, people in town continued receiving them, even while Freshour was in solitary confinement. If Freshour was the writer, he wasn't working alone. We are writing this off as an unsolved mystery.
4 decades
Dang.
later, the debate over the writer's identity continues.
Number 9. Havana Syndrome.
Doctors said that Diplomat's brain matter had actually changed. What started out as a mysterious nuisance became a suspected instrument of attack.
Since 2016, U.S. officials and military personnel have been experiencing strange symptoms. These include pain, ringing in the ears, as well as difficulty with cognitive processes.
A source says starting last December, the U.S. officials were exposed to a sonic device, which experts suggest could produce sound waves below and above human hearing, which could cause these symptoms.
Named for the location it was initially reported, the embassy in Havana, Cuba, Havana Syndrome has since been reported at U.S. bases and embassies in various countries. While some of those suffering from it have existing head injuries that could explain the symptoms, not all of them do.
Oh, that was
The
suck.
recording is just one of the many sounds taken in Cuba that led investigators to initially believe it was a sonic weapon.
Proposed explanations have included a psychogenic illness, the sound of crickets, or even a microwave weapon. While the CIA has concluded that most cases were probably not caused by a foreign power, 24 cases remain unexplained. Accidental or targeted, Havana Syndrome is yet to be fully understood.
Who or what caused it? A mystery.
The United States government is still not sure who or what is responsible for those health attacks.
Students with ADHD.
Got an ad, subscribe to the channel so I can get rid of these ads.
But no, by
Number
Help me
8.
out.
The Max Headroom hijackings. On November 22nd in 1987, the broadcast of 2 Chicago TV stations was interrupted. Both interruptions featured an unidentified man dressed as the British AI character Max Headroom.
Reporters finally did.
Oh,
The masked man disparaged the local station he was interrupting, made several pop culture references,
dang.
and got spanked by a fly swatter. The heavily distorted audio,
My boy was on
rotating
that
background,
superhero
and
villain
masked
type
man
stuff.
gave the hijackings an eerie, almost
Taking
David
over that
Lynchian feel.
live TV. My man was about to
hijackers
take
couldn't
over
be
the city.
identified, nor did they come forward after the statute of limitations on their crime expired. These broadcasts seem destined to remain as mystifying as their contents.
Take some pretty significant
And he got away with it.
equipment, technical equipment, and some knowledge of broadcast frequencies, microwave frequencies.
Number 7. Salish Sea Feet. Since 2007, residents of Washington, USA and British Columbia, Canada have found some rather morbid jetsam washed up on their beaches. Detached human feet. Most of them were found still inside shoes.
Now you
What the?
also have to consider whether or not
Foot
this
fetish much?
could be a serial killer, somebody who right now is underneath the radar.
But physical anthropologists caution that while the spate of discoveries was new and startling, public awareness could have prompted people to pay attention to
My boy got a
running shoes.
foot fetish, whoever he
Play
is.
has been ruled out, as most of the identified victims were involved in accidents or took their own lives. It's been speculated that the feet detached as the bodies decayed, and that the air pockets and buoyant foam in sneakers floated them to the surface.
Too many unanswered questions remain. Who do the feet belong to? Why are they always in running shoes? Could
Are they running
something
away?
truly insidious be at play in the region?
But it still seems extremely odd that there have been so many, and all around the same area.
There are still far more questions than answers. Are these cases connected? How did the people die? And how many more feet are out there still to be found?
Number 6.
Sad.
Roman jars in a Brazilian bay. The historical consensus is that the first European visitors to Brazil were Portuguese, who arrived in 1500 AD. However, it is possible that the Romans beat them to it. In 1976, several amphorae, or Roman jars, were uncovered from the bottom of Guanabara Bay off the coast of Rio de Janeiro. This caught the attention of archaeologist and treasure hunter Robert Marks, who explored the area further and claimed to have found up to 200 more amphorae. Experts dated fragments to around the 3rd century. However, the idea that Romans arrived before the Portuguese deeply upset many Brazilians, and the government banned underwater exploration. So the depths of this mystery remain unknown.
I could see that, but come
Number
on,
5,
keep the culture
Gloria
going.
Ramirez's
Keep
death.
the mysterious
While
going.
suffering from cervical cancer, Gloria Ramirez was admitted to an emergency room in California in 1994. While treating her, the medical personnel noticed odd symptoms, including a greasy polish to her skin, a strange odor from her mouth, and oddly shaped particles in her blood. Then, several of the people in the room began passing out. Overall, 23 people were affected by these strange symptoms,
Girl's
and
a mutant.
Ramirez passed away, with the
She
initial
belong in the
diagnosis
MCU.
being from kidney failure. The most common suggestion for Ramirez's apparent toxicity was that she was taking dimethyl sulfoxide, a home pain treatment, which, combined with several of the treatments, turned into an acidic substance. Another suggestion is exposure to methylamine, but no one knows for sure. Number 4, Tromp family breakdown. No, Tromp with an O. In 2016, Mark and Jacoba Tromp took their 3 adult children on an impromptu road trip hundreds of miles north, leaving their house unlocked. Mark seemed convinced that people were out to get them and forbade phones. Their son Mitchell brought one anyway, but it was later thrown out the car window. He left, not understanding his parents.
Whoa. Are you telling me the kids are adults? The parents left their house unlocked, and they didn't want them to have phones, and then they took one of them brought a phone, and they took it and they threw it out the window. You wouldn't caught me on that car, something was up. Sure, like Zach would be on a case right there, right then and there. Wouldn't catch me right there. I'll be out. Uber, call me an Uber and get out of there. Something was up.
Parents' paranoia. Later, the daughters left too, stealing a car before splitting up. One, Rihanna, was found in a catatonic state. Ultimately, all returned safely, but no explanation has been given specifically for what happened. Whether it was shared psychosis or someone was out to get the Tromps, the case has fascinated the world ever since.
I thought at first that Trump had gone missing. When I saw that, I went, Trump's gone missing. I went, well, there you go. Speaking of delusion.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Number 3, Oakville Blobs. In 1994, Oakville, Washington experienced perhaps the strangest weather phenomenon of the last few decades. It rained blobs. Strange goo fell from the sky over a period of several weeks, blanketing the town in ooze.
and it made
Ivan
people
Ooze.
sick.
If you don't know who that is, you're
My wife got
uncultured.
sick, my daughter.
What's even more bizarre is that the residents experienced a widespread illness that lasted for several weeks too. So what could this goo have been?
Someone
Government.
theorized that since the Navy had been conducting live bombing runs at sea, they might have blown up a school of jellyfish. And of course, this jellyfish would have been thrown up into the air and floated 50 miles inland, and over a period of 3 weeks, fallen 6 times.
Was it evaporated bits of jellyfish that reformed in a cloud? Or
Huh?
maybe waste from an airplane? The most
know
troubling
about
theory
that.
is that the event was a military experiment on U.S. soil.
Translation: germ warfare.
There are a whole mess of theories about this messy and weird weather.
At Speedway, we know a fresh start
Once
to your day
again,
with
y'all know
fresh
what to
cup
do
of
with
coffee.
these ads.
So we've got
Subscribe
fresh
to the
coffee all
channel
day
so I don't have
long,
to
made how you want.
worry about no
Number
ads.
2. The disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370.
Families waiting for MH370. They still wait, and really, they don't know much more than they did that first awful
Oops.
morning.
On March 8, 2014, Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 vanished while flying from Malaysia to China. After a loss of communications and its disappearance from civilian radar, Flight 370...
Oh, heck no. I don't even want to go and fly. I've never been on a plane right now, and I don't want to. This is exactly helping me why I still don't want to go on no plane. You ain't going to catch me on no plane. The only way I'm going on a plane is I'm getting paid. If I'm getting paid, that's the only way I'm going on a plane. And I know I got me a freaking a parachute. Forget the luggage. Give me a parachute, so I know if we going down, I got an escape route. Escape route. Ew. But you ain't go exactly why I don't go on no planes, bro.
70 reappeared on military radar, having deviated from its planned flight path.
Approaching the point at which
And it disappeared.
Malaysian Air Traffic Control will hand over to Vietnam.
Watch out. Let me fly the plane. And get us out of there. Put us on the ground ASAP. Pull the wheels out.
Captain Zahari makes a last routine but now infamous radio transmission.
Good night. Good night, Malaysia. 372.
The disappearance has fascinated the public for years and led to several expensive searches. It seemed impossible for an entire airplane to just go missing in an age where everything can be seen by satellites. Although a few pieces have washed ashore, the bulk of the aircraft and the reason for its deviation remain unclear.
What happened to the flight has haunted the world ever since.
We're not used to planes just disappearing. If they come down, we expect to be able to find out why.
Speculations have run the gamut from a hijacking to being shot down to some kind of equipment failure. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, the Dyatlov
Do that
Pass
with my
incident.
channel too.
In 1959, 9 Russian hikers were found dead in the Ural Mountains. All were severely injured. Several were
Ooh.
undressed and
Mountain
they had
lion.
cut their way out of their
Undressed.
tent.
Wait. Go back. I was talking.
Pass incident. In 1959, 9 Russian hikers were found dead in the Ural Mountains. All were severely injured. Several were undressed, and they had cut their way out of their tent from the inside. Some were burned, and others slightly radioactive. Most seem to have died of hypothermia or their injuries. The case has baffled the public and authorities for over half a century. Theories include an avalanche, an animal attack, or military involvement.
This is the last photo
Who brought the nuclear bomb?
taken by the hikers before they died.
The mini nuclear
It's
bomb
out
in the
of
tent.
focus, but it seems to show mysterious lights in the sky.
The most plausible theory involves the group camping against a heavy snowbank, which collapsed, leading them to assume an avalanche and freezing after they escaped the tent. But unless there really was outside involvement, only the victims know the truth.
The evidence here is both extensive, yet maddeningly incomplete. And until we fill in the gaps, the case cannot be fully closed.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from...
Alright, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you go check out Watch Mojo. You know they be putting out some fire videos. And if you made it to the end, I appreciate it. And I really do hope you liked it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you liked the video, like it. Last video should be popping up on the screen right now. And without further ado, peace.